So critical. The Pirelli tyres, especially car fields and the drivers, and the amount they people are banking on. They're playing this slightly low, say from sort of laps 10, 15.
Those starting with a bit more grip and starting points. Verstappen 119 with a few at Red Bull, but Max is definitely that they dodged the slowest pit stop because today crucial.
And overtaking is tricky here because we apply. But that means, Crofty, you've got heaters to cool the engines. You don't want to be sitting, you get air coming through. They don't have a fan. Limit corner. Franco Colapinto is a lot.
So that's a long way behind.
Well, it's also the third shortest stint for quite some time.
He's got a 4-second. Hulkenberg is reporting that he hasn't made his way onto the grid yet, but are rather spoiled. Lando Norris's afternoon by Hamilton starts third. Now he started third.
I did earlier. The lead, there's a lot of pressure on the launch because you've got that lap open up on the left and the clean side for Lewis Hamilton. All will be revealed in about 20 seconds time.
Which way, says Karun Chandok. Right, here we go, set go, and it's an even start from both of the front. Already past George Russell as we accelerate towards wide and off the track. Norris manages, he's gone into the lead of this race, but he's going to have to, the Ferrari slows down. Max Verstappen though has.
Yeah, we saw several cars going up. Yeah, all Verstappen on Hamilton.
Spinning round of the Pintos involved and then front. And now accelerating close.
Given the places back, Crofty, as I think
starts for Ollie Behrman. It's in and out of the points. He's got it all to do. Norris leads by 1.6 seconds. Verstappen, then comes Russell, then comes Behrman.
Verstappen just cut the corner, brake lane.
Yeah, and also Charles Leclerc argue that one.
Yeah.
If you were Lewis Hamilton,
they're hoping that'll clear up a bit. I think those medium tires got a fantastic launch.
He did.
Out and had to go wide. So even before the braking zone.
One incident noted by race control, that is the one out in front, so doing all the action. In fourth place, Liam Lawson is pitting. In fifth, then Behrman and Antonelli. Tsunoda
damaged his front wing, Crofty, so it's been a bit of an issue in terms of where he's obviously stuck behind Tsunoda wide as possible because they want to get points.
Maybe from Liam Lawson in sector 3. Which
happy about Verstappen going straight on the phone up to race control.
Have a look at the replay. Verstappen getting on, trying to make a move on Yuki Tsunoda. Nothing in chances this season. He needs to make.
On the medium, we talked about Verstappen in the medium. With Red Bull behind another car, you're sliding around more. Now we get on behind Tsunoda for a long time. That's going to just make.
Yuki Tsunoda isn't expecting it. Earlier today, celebrating 60 no celebrations at the moment for Oscar Piastri, keeping Leclerc about 2 seconds behind him.
At the moment, Hamilton just over it. That's helpful for Verstappen.
We'll come to in the pit lane in a moment, but let's see, and a good launch too, but watch Verstappen coming through.
Even before they got to the braking point, and that's what Red Bull. There's the contact between Lawson and one of the Williams.
Charles Leclerc, if I was Lewis to go off the track in the way, Leclerc just dives left and manages this race and stopped. So he's got to go wide. Very nicely indeed. If you were Lewis Hamilton,
you would, because
Hamilton is dropped back a little bit of the road. Lap 6 here instead of Max Verstappen trying to make up a place, and it looks like it goes up into 4th.
Yeah, but he went within DRS. I wonder if he went for a lot of this. Is Russell's dropped back? Russell's lost out in all of this mess.
Going off the track, having to take to the escape. Didn't work for him. That's the driver's championship. Into the first corner we go. Behrman ahead of Verstappen. Norris is now 2 seconds, over 2 seconds clear. Ooh, who closes the door?
I mean, it's a big launch, isn't it? He's come from a long way back. And then
he's Verstappen.
The exit, has he?
No.
He's slid. Ferrari will argue that, but then Behrman's just stopped the car. The apex of turn passing there, Ollie Behrman, but even though in the end of all
didn't leave the track and gain an advantage there. I don't completed a lap of the top 6 in and the stewards there is Oscar Piastri and Yuki Tsunoda.
Lewis, as you said, Crofty,
he went onto the grass, which got him a bit further.
Effectively, if you say 0, it's come up. He has failed to follow the goal scene. It's available on the FI website if you're really on for, and that is a straight asphalt route. As this could be an interesting investment.
Here comes Oscar Piastri on Yuki Tsunoda.
Yet. Let's spot the snelle race.
They'll be not telling people to give places back, but ahead of Carlos Sainz in the battle for 12, in the top 10 for the opening 39 laps.
He's opened up a bigger gap over Verstappen for him for the first time.
I mean, he's on the right time. Behrman with a best finish in his fourth. Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton have been noted. Lewis Hamilton might find himself for it, as here comes Kimi Antonelli past. You just saw it in the background as the other Rebels
lunging and shoving. Luke was the one coming with a big overspeed.
But he made I mean, this is the sort of thing the stewards are now going to be arguing, and for the record, I don't really want a penalty. Is this the way it is going to go? It's the advantage between himself and Charlie Costin, but Red Bull in front of him, and he should get back a bit from George Russell, and not with an hour of extra speed gets that job done too late, really, for Oscar Piastri.
Yeah, far enough behind Russell that he wasn't getting the out, and he's now not that far behind the Mercedes.
Bernie Collins.
Yes, Crofty.
Has to tell us that it's pretty much going to plan.
For Norris. This has played beautifully into his hands. Ferraris are ready into lift and coast, and waits before going on the brakes to help Mers on that lift and coast. So it has allowed.
Asked about lift and coast, so we will ask these two. Well, they're happy to today, but Norris has got that medium compound tyres.
It's interesting to me that and Max Verstappen has dropped one to have at the moment. I think that's what Will Joseph was saying. Just, you know, he saw that the speed trap. That is 200 and...
Just get something up with computer. What was that hour? Is in miles an hour, 200 to be honest. So Max Verstappen's after medium tyres starting to go off already. What is that? Will they go to the hards as Esteban Ocon?
Before. This is great. I could just deflect on the Red Bulls. Both cars struggling.
Yeah, it's a very interesting one, Corinne. I was just having a look.
Thanks, Bernie.
Yeah, the soft tyre, maybe a little bit more tyre, but again, very, very low drag. So they've got a bit
of the top three, which are separated by Leclerc, had new soft tyres to start tyres. On board with Fernando Alonso in the battle for 13th. He's already 14th. Will be a lot more pleased, I'm sure, being investigated for that.
It's not been a great issues and just not been happy with the car from Austin, which has dropped him outside of the mission because he looked quick all weekend.
Of a second of George Russell. But George Russell to get any sort of advantage for that. So Mercedes keeps within the DRS of Max Verstappen in these conditions. 51 degrees in Mexico City. We're on lap 15, 5 seconds ahead, over 5. So investigation for failing at turn 4. He is though up, but a difference. And on that second one,
between Verstappen and Hamilton
has been noted, but hasn't been, could be a net third, because Lewis Hamilton is just, and whilst this day could go from good,
and he's exactly 10 seconds in front of Piastri base, it won't. We've got a long way to go. 56 surprised, because we saw it from here in the commentary box.
Yeah,
I'm surprised Ferrari didn't tell them to half 2 seconds. It was evident for everyone, and not necessarily let them pass, but just.
If Lewis Hamilton is worthy of a 10 seconds, let's just go through the chain of events. Back onto the track, a lot further on, leave the track and gain an advantage. In
that wheel-to-wheel combat situation, Leclerc is within the same team, right? I think if it was 2 different teams now, they're definitely not going to do it now when Lewis booked for that one. I'm just back off, give up a bit more time.
Nearly 5 seconds behind the car in third, and the car in probably will be his only pit stop being employed by Ferrari is starting to really close in as you put. But that means putting the medium tyres on Piastri, chasing Russell down the straight. Piastri is gaining on Russell, but not by enough.
We'll get DRS again here, but he's got us. Even though the wing, as you saw, pop open.
This race, a 5-second stop hasn't held higher, and we're starting to see the median at 18 of 71, not making an impression on Ollie Behrman to George Russell, and maybe a little bit closer on this lap.
So Carlos Sainz has gone to that soft. What does he do now? Can he run ahead is going to be very, very difficult with a little big question on the Ferrari pit wall right now.
Yeah, between Gasly and Hulkenberg at the minute.
Right. Russell went deep.
Russell that he's employed, loaded off onto the grass. The man who won from pole last deleted, remember, 3 times over the wire the next time you do it.
Yeah, behind him, and here was Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton for causing a picture. Now it's gone up to the stewards.
Great George Russell about a car length down that main straight. If Oscar put a traction, that is not last at the moment.
I think those laps that he spent, that a little bit of a breather, as he's pleased to see Oscar being a bit racier, because, but at least playing with the cars around him.
I'm just wondering where McLaren can in the garage currently. 5 seconds in this race. So here comes Piastri, George Russell again. Oscar to try and get past. Fernando Alonso. Piastri's coming at George Russell towards turn. Has been noted now for leaving the track that it is worthy of one.
That's 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
We'll see what they come up with.
Here's Carlos further up the grid.
10-second penalty for the extra.
The grip grip there is so low.
We know this.
Further ahead, and Lewis, advantage that he had.
That's poor communication because, and I think, he's been given a penalty because he gained.
Karun Chandok, your application. I wouldn't assume a lot. One better plus point for you on that one, but he's not managing to get past there. On a like-for-like strategy, they could get leaders and they could get past Verstappen as of the race.
Yeah, Bernie was talking about he's stuck there bottled up. Mercedes have kind of out and react, as you said, probably the right opposite are almost ready to run into the pit lane. And
he's a bit of a guinea pig here for George Russell to try and extend his stint on the soft tyres. Byron as well. Hamilton's going to come in for his pits on.
And I'll tell you what a great job Bairman's done. It's only a second and a half behind Hamilton.
Stops and they do nothing for 10. And what often happens here is a slower going to stop. 13.5 to stop Hamilton back into this racetrack behind.
Yeah, it's going to be tight though, because Hulkenberg's done.
Staying at Max. Okay.
I can hear everything.
Engineer talking to the strategy team. You don't want to be hearing because you want your point of contact.
Pressing the wrong radio button as Oscar Piastri's been
on the panel in front of you, and like I've seen some people put grip tape on the button.
And then they pitted Oscar Piastri as well. Assumed that's in reaction to Antonelli.
Yeah, but Behrman is now in a potential podium, way out of contention with that stop on that run of stops.
Yeah, lock up there. That is Oscar Piastri. It was a slow stop. He is out on track ahead of him to come in and pit as they cover off. That's allowed Mercedes a bit of breathing space here.
Yeah, that's behind. 8, 9, 10 behind Albon. He's catching him. But Mercedes need a nice clean stop here, and they
for them too. Albon making his way there. Now Piastri's got DRS here, can get his stops. Oscar Piastri, as you can see, the FIA stewards say the 10-second time penalty is under investigation now for speeding in the blocks in the race yet.
Who has pitted is on the snap at the moment. So his gap is behind Ollie Behrman by 3 or 4 seconds. But obviously Verstappen's tyres are now done 20.
I think Verstappen's doing a decent job on those medium tyres. Tyres don't look very good at all. So William, Bernie Collins, what's going on over your shoulder at Sauber?
The car recycled the car they brought in, so that looks like the end of Nico's day.
It's such a shame. He was back in the points, wasn't he, at last, but in their 210th Grand Prix.
I'm going to say now I don't want to jinx it anymore because he's matured a lot this season, finish in a row, as we see Piastri net position.
No, Bortoletto, Peru. Sainz up into 12, not really racing. George Russell doesn't fight that. He was the driver that he got rather irked by. We'll see what happens when he gets a bit closer to pit lane.
Watching jumping in the pit lane, like something.
He's saying there's some sort of electronic issue that meant above and into the speed limit. This should give him off Gabriel Bortoletto. So now Piastri.
The battle with Piastri and Hamilton, I think the other McLaren-Ferrari battle is between himself and Charles Leclerc. Now, the way he's going, Lando Norris, and the way he lose when you come in.
He's doing this weekend what he did. This time round, he's doing it. It's been devastating pace from Lando.
Verstappen is a fairly been told to box, but he's carried on Charles Leclerc's sector. Either way, Hamilton is going to get past. Probably wave to him to say hi as Hamilton goes past.
Yes, indeed, Crofty. Max Verstappen looking at driver Russell and Antonelli, and penalty. So Max's strategy at this stage, build a tyre delta. But
that sounds absolutely spot on for Max Verstappen.
I think from the numbers I have, Crofty, with that 20, because they stopped very early, Carlos Sainz and podium potential.
They'd open up that gap in terms of pace.
Yeah, I think nervous as any racing father would to Ollie Behrman. If they'd have left it a few laps, we're off the house, right?
Remind me what driver.
A young 20-year-old man and grateful to Ferrari. No, push it off.
No. Lando Norris. Me, Antonelli blast past Yuki Tsunoda up in
High 124s, Verstappen in the low in front. He's putting in some really good lap times, so I don't know. But Verstappen's last bit of the draining phase, and it's right on the tail of Tsunoda. You can see it. It's a very short straight down. Thinks against it on this particular occasion.
At the moment, he's in the 24s on the last lap, so in 15th.
Yeah.
I guess, maybe.
Here comes Piastri on some into 7th where he started. Now 22 seconds. Making his way, or was, through the heat haze, and that was Max Verstappen scenario here. No team orders down at Mercedes. George, a lot of cars as George Russell gets very close to his teammate. If you're just joining us, I'll remind you, he's had a 10-second.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, I feel it's just falling back through the pack as Behrman go past Antonelli, Russell, with a car that has no grip.
Early bath for Fernando Alonso. Disappointment for him. We lost Nico Hülkenberg for his nest since Monza. Back in managing his pace. He and Ant ahead of the two Mercedes, and right behind them, George Russell's a bit worried here because enough, or to scamper clear a bit faster. All I'm saying is,
yes, hello Crofties. I just wanted to Verstappen is on. It's just showing the traffic, and I think they're keeping him out there because that traffic a little bit closer to the edge of Verstappen. He was only 2/10 slower than Verstappen.
And he pits after 36. Albon, or certainly trying to, going the long way by Ocon, but Alex Albon was to take that position number.
Kept it clean, no banging. You know, the thing the team says, he's the team up. Albon into turn 1. I think he's been slightly.
You're right. George Russell is now, possibly realistically, I've got the chance, and I get the feeling that his mood is not going to have been in this race so far. Here comes towards the inside a little bit to preserve his...
Right there, isn't he? And if by chance, Canelli, Piastri, he'll get him.
I also think, looking towards the last 10 laps and got past Lewis Hamilton on a bet, Russell would like to be a bit clearer of that as well if he could. Doing it for us is letting him past his teammate to run a better race so far. That's the quandary.
Come to the back of this pack, has he? No. You know, I'm a bit surprised qualifying he started second and third. And
Piastri's just dropped back a little bit on that lap to help his brakes a little bit.
All in shot together. That back is on. Absolutely. When the Prix at the moment property is 11 seconds between. It is a bit of a tall order.
It's on lap 40, just to show you that he is still in this city.
So rear surface temperature.
Okay, think of me here, and we can fight for a podium here.
And behind him, I see everything, hear everything that Marcus Dudley at this moment. Oh, and now,
think, you know, I'll give it back. This
street might have been a bit wide. Yeah, George Russell might have been a very happy man. He's now chasing. Antonelli was always going to move over, go for it in the position that Piastri's in.
Maybe, but I think the risk of the reward was what. Just make it 5 laps early. Hasn't sent the rear tires sky high. Has booked the best of both, you know, those things. But I just feel like they've wasted 5.
Representative and taking on a lot will be a discussion with the senior engineer. Clear and get to Ollie Behrman. Antonelli within DRS, without all this pressure, has the Haas got one?
Doesn't feel too bad now, but...
Well, yeah, the best medium. Why are they asking? What help is it? Switch it up for a 2-stop on and then have a much better tyre to push.
The one thing Piastri and McLaren need to be aware of.
He's a second faster than anyone else. He came out of the pit stop. He was 7.8. He is, you know, he's half the deficit.
Yes. Look, 6th place.
Does he need to do something? Because
he'll be ahead of Ocon.
Yeah, so he'd give up track position to Hamilton and Verstappen. And Verstappen, and get a few more points for the catch Verstappen, then overtake. Which, remember they've done, think of Budapest with Lando.
It's a very good point. It'll be a 2-stop, and as we go towards out, in terms of how the tyres are reacting, and I dare say has a faster car for the race. Bernie Collins down to you.
This could be reward, and that's what we talk about a lot in Strat. And then what they're trying to gain is they're trying to reckon, can they overall get...
You know, a pit stop, Bernie, you were saying before, got a lot of pace at the moment, hasn't he, on that soft tyre?
What is their balance right now? I don't understand what's going
on. There's the, we're not quite sure, that might have fallen into territory 4. Before we heard that, I was going to say, Ollie Behrman's last lap got a significant pace advantage, less. It's not a given that...
Say, that the race leader is having off the race, he is, let's say this group here we're looking at, compared to Piastri, time of his life in nice, clean air.
Antonelli, and he's within touching distance and under 1 second behind the Ferrari. The adventure today, Max, in a car that's knowing just how good a driver.
His medium tyres, which we know is already pace advantage.
Not finished next on.
They are. Oscar Piastri waiting for him, and he's carried on. Antonelli, is he going to make the move then on the Mercedes? Lewis Hamilton into turn 1. Verstappen.
Piastri has another go into turn 4.
He's looking for the Piastri.
Yeah, he went a bit deep. Do McLaren play the game again on the next lap? He's now ahead of Hamilton and will be...
Potential floor damage on his Ferrari after he went second penalty for gaining an advantage after lead to retire the car if he's got floor. Comes Kimi Antonelli and Oscar box 2. This had better be a fast stop. He's in the pits, Antonelli as well, and we want to see they did it in the pits. Well done to McLaren.
And that was critical, and it's great for them.
It was a mechanic, just gave a pat on the engine in front of Isaac Hadjar and got ahead of Antonelli. He's now got 1 seconds to Max Verstappen. George, he hasn't got a free pit stop. He's going to concede a bit of a strategy gamble there. If Russell's a third of Behrman now pits.
Look at that trigger, that Antonelli. Watch Russell versus the track.
Yeah, could be under pressure here. It was a slow stop from Mercedes. Take a bow, Haas pit crew, and they've delivered 2 exceptional. No chance of getting through.
Except Behrman's not.
Nice move by Oscar Piastri, but on much fresher tyres than Max Verstappen.
Exactly, the older tyres, of course, at this stage. So, fresher. Can he catch?
I think it's going to be with Antonelli pitting, with Piastri pitting.
It's their only opportunity. It needs to be that lap or not talking last on that car from Verstappen.
The thing to watch now, Crofty, is Verstappen, who are sticking with that medium. Do they think they can just hang it out in front of Max?
Half a second, 0 for Charles Leclerc, sorry, on lap 49. On that evidence, albeit very controls noted, the Oscar Piastri for causing a collision, and exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So, position both cars in the points, particularly their team boss, Ayo Komatsu, because they introduced law, as we see the Williamses swapping position.
We're staying out to the end.
Max Verstappen, could he salvage previous starts from 5th on the grid? He's never won. Haas, by the way, I was talking about their pit stops, 2.7 seconds. And the reason so high up, you know, it does make that George Russell's got. And George Russell is really one, which we saw.
Might be the worst strategy I've ever.
Why not just keep Ollie Behrman out?
It's very hard. They would have ended up 4th anyway. If he's anyway 4th. Right?
Further investigation. So the stewards.
Quick note on the championship at the moment.
Yeah.
Or going into Saudi Arabia by just 36 behind Lando. But if he
it'll end his run as it's not an easy track to pass on. Young British drivers battling it out, and 26 years old Grand Prix. Can you see any debris out of our commentary?
He's talking about the last apex from where we're standing.
What we Mexico City Grand Prix, I thoroughly enjoyed. Down the main straight again. Ollie Behrman, as Russell, maybe he was within a second going through the... We'll be quite happy to keep that gap as it is. I think about 7/10 faster than Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, just quickly on that, Crofty. I think Russell, but what I was going to come in with was what would have Verstappen. So if Leclerc would be ahead, Verstappen most likely would boxes. That's the situation if there's a safety car right.
Second gap over Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, I mean, he can commanding position. Frankly, Pato won in the first week. From the first run that they did in
time this season, Lando's missed FP1.
The rest of them
needs the practice. Points up against Isaac Hadjar in Brazil, and he is so looking forward to that, trying to make a move up into the top 10.
That was for Portoletto to come to his home Grand Prix, treat him as a South-Alista, and we all love going to him. Absolutely. It always produces great racing.
Behrman, there's George Russell, and 1.3 seconds is that man there in the McLaren. Got George Russell kind of dealt for speeding in the pit lane. He thought something was of that nature. Max Verstappen's close. There's a point up for grabs here, and he's got...
They started 5th. They've gained, he's only gained 1 from where they've started. You know, when you're in the pack there, and you've been Austin did me. Leclerc did thinking, and he's gained a couple of places, whereas Piastri's...
There's an hour of extra pace coming his way. A team principal, commiserations on Nico.
There was a power issue of some description on the Ricardo did actually a fantastic job. Turnover, reliability issues.
Place is possible
You know, we caught Hadjar that George was having with the fewest mistakes.
I'm sure you'll be...
Yeah, I'm cheering a lot of people on.
7 seconds, the gap between, in terms of 4th, 5th and 6th over Russell. It's another 2 points in the and he needs this, Karun. He absolutely needs this.
He's stuck there for a while, and unfortunately for him, Russell, but Russell's to take him out of danger.
He'll get the slipstream and he'll get DR really nicely for us. Max Verstappen means that's... Max Verstappen's going to arrive on the... and keep him at bay. And this will be a great runners-up position to Lando Norris.
But the team coming up with an alternative strategy, and that strategy worked. And with Max, they've had a gap on the last lap between them. If we take it at a similar rate,
be predicting it might be a kind of middle stage of the race. Give us something a little bit special. And Nelly have been running for about 10 or 11 laps. Verstappen's tyres going to hold up. Howard 20's got such a cushion now he can drive around in 3rd gear. And that whatsoever. Could Oscar Piastri be about 2/3 ahead by the time they get to the next 10th place? Great move from the Aussie.
yeah, and he's got a vulnerable attack from George Russell. So great contact.
That will give him a lot of hearts. Not going to be good enough for him to retain his 2.7 seconds now behind Ollie Bear.
So what a championship we're having.
Would have been a lot worse, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And George, I thought George was very fair with Linus. Piastri tries to put a thumb.
You know what George Russell will say at the end of this race when I was telling you to do it? Good luck.
Oof. Good. If George hadn't cooked his tyres there for 5 laps, Piastri off. So if I was
all Bernie Collins when they say if they do say.
Well, yeah, I think they should swap positions. As you saw, see him ear just take, and that's what the pit wall would be saying when he should be ahead.
No, you're right. He wasn't ahead, was he? We're riding on board with Kimi Antonelli. No information yet as to any RS on Isaac Hadjar. He's gaining on him. Behind him is Pierre Gasly as Bortoleto goes for the... He has, you know. Bortoleto is up into the soft tyre is Esteban Ocon. And he has Charles Leclerc ahead.
4/10 on that last lap. You know, he was losing 8, 9, as you say, 8 laps to go, 4 seconds.
It is a swap, yes. Kimi Antonelli goes through. This is the move. Gabriel Bortoleto from the 2 title rivals in F2.
So much going on all through the race. And it's been great as we see Tsunoda now having...
Tsunoda makes that move stick. Encouragement from Gianpiero Lambiase, and I'm not surprised. Mexico City Grand Prix, he's like, Crofty, this is the best. Super drive, and he has looked, and he is a massive distance ahead. Up to happen. Start the Jeep, Charles.
Albon, that is Albon and Hadjar. Flags, no doubt McLaren will be on the radio for lap ahead.
He's a different motorsport. Oscar Piastri could yet salvage 4th in this race. Isaac Hadjar's got that sinking feeling just a little bit. But Williams swooped past him before Lando try and catch, and then Bortoleto for any points. Hadjar keep away from the timing tower and then look back again. The Ferrari there is sure in the battle for what will be the runners-up. That's going to change if Verstappen gets ahead at the end of this race. Mercedes second.
Focusing on that timing tower, as you say, he's right there. There's a clean line.
I'm trying to do my maths here. It might, but either way, it's a 6-point swing. We start lap 66 of Max Verstappen on the charge. Leclerc is going to be the most...
Ducks sit horizontally?
They do now.
Some laps where he's losing 8, some laps where he's losing 4, but still hasn't got within DRS.
No, he's seen Behrman's racecraft here this weekend. Race weekend in a row, he's been in the top 10. He said he just needs a little bit more maturity at times. Not trying to refine some of the immaturity, which is whatever happens between now and he's on for a 4th place if he can keep the... If I could cast a vote, I'd probably be 41%.
He has been superb, hasn't he? He has been superb. Look in DRS, Crofty. Not massively important for Charles Leclerc to just try.
Antonelli passed George Russell down in 8th, had that 10-second penalty earlier. Penalty today, and he's going to pick up 2nd place to about half a second a lap quicker, but only half
the Behrman there, Crofty, down the straight, so he's going to start picking up the new experience of Behrman in lapping cars.
Yeah, to tow from the 2 Alpines within DRS zone. He is going to get that DRS car in front of you.
I believe you
stumble on a bit of extra speed as well.
They do, of course, they do get it.
That's all. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I'm awake.
Here we go. Out in front, Lando Norris. And Holyfield is waiting. Uppercut, but almost a knockout blow in the chest with DRS. Gets ever closer. This is for a little sparring jab return. Might still be Piastri's by the time it's close enough to be within 1 sec. Brilliant. 2 laps to go. Lando Norris. Sainz has come to a standstill in a stranded Williams. That's why we've got the head of Max Verstappen.
Yeah, but DRS
going down that main straight. And even that occasion, Behrman has got a bit of an advantage once again. It's going to be down to the last lap.
Zone 1 somewhat confusingly, but it's actually the straight.
We've got a virtual safety car as Carlos Sainz's Williams marshals to recover that Williams. The virtual safety car ended. Max Verstappen, and it's not going to go down well with Oscar Hilling, I'm sure, at this virtual safety car.
Behind the barrier.
In the grandstands for an outstanding film. We can see of the onboard why we need a virtual safety today.
Yeah,
see, the crowd is still roaring, going at 40% of his speed.
Yeah, you know, it's parked on the left-hand side, away from
lap of racing for Verstappen, and way for his 7th victory in 2000. Leclerc, nobody has got within for Lando Norris. Maximum the battle for second. Can Verstappen? They are roaring the Red Bull through the stadium. It's going to be Charles Leclerc in second. The championship leader, Oscar Piastri, rear best 4th. For Ollie Behrman, take a bow. The bearer said,
P1. Absolutely fantastic
result. Wonderful car.
He sounds so calm about it as well. Point scorer, 1 point for him, Piastri.
4 weekends to go. 4 weekends to go, including 2 sprints.
116 points then up for GRAN.
Is with Lando. You have to say he's come from 3rd.
Yes, come on! Good job!
Had never previously completed a lap. Driver of the day.
Driver of the day, Ollie Behrman. Driver of the weekend.
Victory with Charles Leclerc. Take why we needed that VSC. The vent from Piastri as well. That could have